Okay, people, to start off with here, we're actually going to do some relief cuts in the original coving. We don't need to take it right down, just enough so we can get our stud work up. Now this is going to need repeating on both sides, obviously, because we've got 2 bits of stud work going up. Now we are going to be building this fireplace out by about 200mm, and that's just so we've got a recess for the TV to go into and for the fireplace to go into. And we can start getting our sidewalls all built up here. Like I said, they're only narrow. I think it was actually 150mm from memory, but I can't quite remember. But like you see here, they're just very narrow, just enough to get a slimline fireplace in, basically. Okay, and then we can start getting them up. So 4 fixings up the length here. Like I said, it's not going to be taking any weight or anything, but we don't want it to move anywhere. So yeah, just a nice 4 fixings. Then we can get our bottom piece in now. Now what I didn't show is I have actually glued this to the floor as well, and I do screw it in like you can see here. Obviously check that you've got no underfloor heating or pipes or anything in the floor before you do so. And obviously make sure the framework's square. So we're going up into the head here. Now I did actually manage to find the joists in the ceiling above, so I managed to fix into those, but yet again just make sure you check out for pipes and bits and pieces. Then we can start building up our framework on the front here. So we're going to keep our fireplace nice and low down here because we don't want our TV up in the heavens. So it's just about above skirting height, and then we're going to use our uprights just to help position this. It's like a third hand if you like, just makes everything nice and easy. And then we can get our centerpieces in, making sure we centralize that fire as well. So yeah, like I said, that's going to be our fireplace opening in there. I really need to get a new tape measure because that one's really getting on my nerves, bending like that. Okay, next up we've got the soundbar opening that's going to go into this opening here. So yeah, it really helps just to cut them uprights, just so you make sure that everything goes in the right place. Just saves you time mucking about with the tape measure and spirit level and everything, because you know you've got that bottom one in level. You can just work your way up from there, periodically checking. You can see just about that I've got the laser level through there, just to make sure that I'm on track and nothing goes on wander. Okay, a bit of packing down here for the soundbar opening itself. Now we've got a Sonos going in here. Some people don't agree with having soundbars in openings, but I haven't found it to be a problem, to be honest. I get if you're a complete audio nut and you've spent thousands and thousands, you wouldn't want it, but you know, for general folk, if you like, I don't think it's a problem. So this is going to be the TV opening, so you can see what I mean about trying to keep it down as low as possible. We didn't want the TV like too high. Some people still reckon that they're too high here, but I think it's just about right, to be honest. I suppose it all comes down to personal preference, doesn't it? But yeah, nice big TV opening here. I like to leave about 1 inch all the way around the TV, just to let air flow behind it and all that. And we're just checking corner to corner, make sure we're nice and square on everything. Everything's looking good, so away we go. Bang some nails in there. If you haven't got a nail gun, obviously you can use screws. It's not an issue. And then here I'm just marking out the facing material, so I'm using MDF for this because the customer wanted to be able to fix to it. So like if he wants to put a clock up or something, it's just easier in the MDF. I always give customers options whether they want MDF or plasterboard, and that's what he went with. So using an offcut here just to make sure I get everything lined up before I go ham with the nail gun. Just make sure you get plenty of fixings there. You'll notice that I did glue it to the stud work, and you can see there I have glued the 2 pieces of MDF where they're joining, just to make sure that, you know, we don't get no cracking along that joint. I also V out that joint as well, just to give the filler something to sit into. And there we go, we can start getting the side cheeks on. So yeah, I've got some grab adhesive on the wall itself, and obviously glue and pins into the stud work. Just make sure everything's nice and tamped down. Now this is the TV recess, like I said, so we can get the side pieces. The beauty of having it this close to the wall is that I don't need to put like a backing material in. We can actually use the wall itself to fix the TV to, which is quite nice. Gives us a much more solid fixing. Now in with this bottom piece, you'll see in a second here that I've actually left a little cutout in the back, and that's to drop like power points and cables and bits and pieces down. Like we have got a plug on the wall here, but the soundbar cable and bits and pieces need to go down. So here you can see I'm putting in some floating shelves at the side. I did a floating shelf on the other side as well, but I forgot to film that, so I apologise, but you will see that in a minute. But these are just a basic construction. They're just grab adhesive and pinned to the wall. Plenty strong enough for what we're doing here. It'll take the weight of some books, so that's more than enough for me. So yeah, putting our skins on now. Try not to go mad with the pins, because obviously it all needs filling and decorating, but you know, you've got to get enough in there. So this is a 6mm skin of MDF that I'm putting on the top and the bottom, and then I'll put a 9mm on the face just to give it a bit of rigidity. Really struggle with that word, rigidity. So yeah, there you go. Look, the face piece going on now, and that is actually glued and pinned to the other MDF, so it shouldn't crack. We should get nice tight joints that don't crack. That's the floating shelves in. Now I have got videos on the channel of how to build these cabinets and the doors going on. I haven't shown it in this video just purely for continuity, but linked in the channel. I'll put them in the description if I remember. Just videos on how to build alcove units and shaker doors and all the rest of it. I've got all of the stuff on the channel, so you can check it out there. And then a bit of skirting round, quite simple, just yet again glued and pinned. And I put a little bit under the cupboard as well, just to make sure that everything flowed nicely. Okay, up with the coving. Now with this, I just use grab adhesive again. I find it sticks plenty, and the pins are just there temporarily to hold it until that glue goes off. There we go. Last little piece going in now. We'll start dressing up this unit. So top on there, I did take a slight 45 off the front lip just to give it something to bear on. And there we go, our shaker style doors going on there. Now I didn't put handles on because the customer hadn't made their mind up what type of handles they wanted, but I will put a picture at the end of the completed project for you guys to see. There we go guys, all done. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button for me. Take it easy.